As you can see, there's a LAPD there flying, coming down on a feed.
Wanted.
And this is going to be another one coming down here.
I'm a detective for the Los Angeles Police Department.
And in a second, I'm going to give you an example of how I run it here.
Identify a suspect placed at the scene of a homicide. January 16, 1997, in the vicinity of Van Owen Street and Varna Avenue. The victim, Connie Madrid, was a female Hispanic, 50 years, mother of 5 children, found strangled.
The way it works is these are our play decks here. In a minute here, I'm going to run some commercials and run an ID. We have to run an ID on the top of every hour. And each one of these commercials are 30 seconds. And also at the same time, I have to catch a feed, LAPD, that comes down at 5 o'clock. And I'm going to catch it on these 2 decks here. So at about 58:30, everything's on military time here. And at about 58:30, I'm going to start the record decks for LAPD. And first thing I want to do is, you got color bars here. You want to check your audio levels, make sure they're set right. And then,
all right.
This is Panda Vision. We play this during my hour, which is from midnight till 8 in the morning. And I'm going to run a commercial in a second here. This is called a CG router. This here switches your commercials, your different decks, deck 1 through 9, and you use this router according to the number of the deck that you're using. So I'm going to start the commercial in a minute here.
But there's nothing in there even close to the price I'm selling it for you. Great deal, probably the best deal of the night. One, 2 or 3 best deals of the night. 119 takes the whole line.
And I'm switching it from satellite, because we're running satellite now. I'm switching it from satellite to regular PG, which is the decks here. And also I need to start my feeds, so I'm going to go ahead and roll those. And I'm going to run this commercial, and then I'm going to roll my ID and put it back to satellite and back on Pandavision until 6 in the morning. And at that time is when I run some shows, regular shows and regular commercials. So as you can see, the tape's beginning to roll now for LAPD. This is basically what I do. There's quite a bit of responsibility here. As you can see, I'm in charge of the television for thousands and thousands of people who watch it, so I'm kind of like putting on a show for everybody. So if I screw up, then it goes on the air, and that's not good. So I want to try to put the best show on as I could. So I'm running down my last 30 seconds here. I'm going to run an ID, which identifies our station. And I'm going to switch it right back to satellite. So that's basically what you do. When I got regular commercials going throughout the day, when I'm running a show,
What you are about to see is real. There are no reenactments.
then what I'll do is queue up to my show, and as soon as I get black at the beginning of the show, I'll reset the counter and go -1. So by the time you start your program and hit your CG router, it's just coming on. Everything looks pretty good on the air. And these are our satellite receivers right here, our C-band and KU band. And this is where we program all the different decks through these satellites here. And everything's set on frequencies. So we set the frequency, and then we rotate the dish outside, and then what we do, if we're using this receiver here, for example, which is C1, then we will come down here on the patchwork, and we'll patch it through with these cables here, and then it goes into the CG router up here and into the certain deck, where, you know, whichever record deck we use. There's 4 different record decks here. There's an additional one down here, and there's 2 more back here that we use. And this is also our dubbing room here, where if we get a bad copy, we can record and make another backup copy. And these monitors, these 4 monitors here, correspond with these 4 decks right here, whatever's recording. And this right here is our vector scope. This is tells you the white levels and the different stuff that's actually on the air, different color levels that we're putting out. And this tells you how focused the antenna is. This here is our remote microprocessor. Every day when we come in, we hit certain codes on here, which corresponds to the different audio levels and the different power levels that are that we're putting out, and that's how we keep track of that. If it needs to be raised or lowered, we can do it right here. This is our Eas Deck here. And what this is here is this is FCC. So when we come in, we log on, and we're actually monitoring 3 different stations besides ourselves, and we make sure they stay on the air as well. And if there was an actual emergency or something, then we would get a printout here, and there's a red envelope that we tear open, and we would go by the procedures on that and notify the public on air of what to do in case of emergency. This is our commercial library here. All these commercials are labeled by number, and what I do is I follow a log here, and I load the commercials onto this cart right here, and the programs that need to be played during my shift. And if you notice, each one of these commercials, there's some laid down, some stand up, some laid down. This tells me the different segments that I need to load these commercials in. So it just helps keep track of what times these commercials go in. This is our Cairo here, and this is a computer over here that lets you. This computer here lets you put scroll messages across the TV screen, and you type out whatever information you want on there, and it'll run it on the bottom of the screen or the top or whatever, like if you're doing a live remote. So I'm going to take you outside right now and show you the satellites so you can see them a little better. Here's the dishes here. Just get a little better look at them. It's daylight now. They're pretty big. And you can probably see our mountain a little better. Boy, it's really foggy this morning. You can see them right up there.